Hello everyone and welcome to NT Gaming with me, Tukx. Today I'm going to talk about my Guardian's build. I'm using Greatsword and I'm using the staff. Here we go, right. Firstly, I'm using full Celestial Armour. This gives you an increase to all your stats, not as much as some pieces would, other sets. They give more numbers, but this gives an increase across the whole board. This is increased to toughness, vitality and healing power. As anyone knows that plays a Guardian, they are incredibly squishy, so this helps a lot. We've also got the Scholar Rune in each of these pieces, giving us an extra 10% damage while we health is above 90%. I'll explain later how we're going to keep our health above 90% above that threshold. In our weapon we are using the Sigil of Force, an extra 5% damage. In our staff we are using the Sigil of Leeching. This is because this is our ranged sort of healing weapon. It has a heal on it, but we'll also be using that heal to buff might. In our trinkets we're using Berserker trinkets with the exquisite ruby orbs. That's where our damage comes from. Right, I'm going to run through the traits now. We're running 30-10-00-30. In Zeal we have Fiery Wrath, increased 10% damage when the enemies are burning. This is quite an important one. I'll come back to this and let you know how we're going to keep this up. We have this one here, an increase of 5% damage when using Greatsword, and a little bit of healing on top when you hit. It's just the general theme you take when you're using a Greatsword. We have got this one here, for an extra 10% damage on your conditions, based on your power. When you're using the burns, it just adds that little bit more, especially with the Celestial Armour, where you've got extra condition damage anyway. We have Signet Mastery here, which reduces your healing skill down from 40 seconds to 32. This means it can be used a lot more regularly than you would do in a normal fight. In Virtues, we have this one here. This is the big one. This is the one where you're getting a lot of damage. 20% damage when under Aegis. When you have Aegis on yourself, like I do right now, here's Aegis. Extra 20% damage straight up. I'll also explain how we're going to be keeping this up as much as possible in the build. Straight away, here we go. This helps keep it up. This changes the way your Virtue of Courage works. Instead of it being every 40 seconds to proc Aegis, it's actually now every 30 seconds. This means it's a lot more regular. You have it a lot more times. So in a long fight, this is going to be a damage increase. This one here, along with that, big increase in damage. You have this one here, 1% extra damage every boon you have. I'll explain why that's good in a second, just after I do this one here. And finally, Supreme Justice. This goes back to the burning I said, for increased 10% damage. With your Virtue of Justice, instead of it proccing every 5 hits, it procs every 4 hits with this one. That means you're going to be burning a lot more regularly to ensure that you're keeping it up. Right, let's go back to this one here. 1% net damage every boon. Doesn't seem too great, but when you're running Save Yourselves, that's 7 boons there for 13 seconds. Along with Aegis, that's 8% extra damage there. That's 8% damage increase already. Along with Aegis, 28% damage. 28% damage already. I'm above that. 38% extra damage. It just keeps going on and on. 5% extra damage from my weapon room, 5% damage from that. 48% extra damage. It's ridiculous. I'm also running Hold the Line. This helps you keep above the threshold of the Scholar Rune to stay above 90%. Along with the protection and regen, it's incredibly good because you have the Celestial Armour for increased healing. I'm running the Signet of Resolve, as I said earlier, just because it's a Signet and it's one of your biggest heals and it's quite quick regen with the Signet Mastery. This one here is the one you'd be swapping out for your party. This is when your party says, use a Reflect, you swap out to your Reflect skill. Normally, I would be running Retreat. This is because it pops Aegis. as I said before, Aegis is your 20% extra damage. Very important. So if you're in a fight where you're going to be being hit maybe every 15 or so seconds, you want to be using this in between just to keep it up. Because you'll be hit, drop the Aegis, put this back up, be hit again, then this will proc. That's the ideal situation where it would be keeping your Aegis up all the time. If you're in a fight where you're going to be being hit far too regularly, but it's not going to be hitting very much, you want to be using Bane Signet for increased 180 power. It's not a lot, but it's just a flat out damage increase. If you're being hit for a lot, it doesn't need to be regularly, but if you're just being hit for a lot, you want to be using Signet of Judgment for the increased of 10% damage reduction. Minus 10% incoming damage. And finally for the elite skill, I would normally run, this actually depends on your group. If the group is high throughput and they know what they're doing, you want to be running Tome of Wrath, because you use this and you use the 4 ability which grants, I'll actually show you. If I use this now, you grant quickness in 5 seconds. On a high throughput group, you use that, everyone gets a damage increase, and you switch straight back into it, and then you use your quickness for yourself as well. You just use that one for the buff. If you've got a bit of a not so good group, the group's not the best in the world, Tome of Courage is very good for this, because you can keep the group up. A lot of very, very strong support skills. One of your 5 ability heals everyone around you to full HP. Very, very powerful. Everyone stacks as well, using the 1, spamming the 1 on the group will heal everyone up and keep them full health. It's extremely good. And also Renew Focus. If you're using your virtues a lot, then this is very good. This would also help keep your Aegis up. Right, I think that's everything I need to say about that. That's the build, that's those. If anyone has any questions, then please let me know in the comments, on my forums, on Facebook, Twitter, anything. Just please get in touch with me and ask any questions you would like to know. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this has helped you, helped clear anything up, and the throughput on this is ridiculously good, honestly. It's not as strong as Berserker, obviously, because you don't have as much, but it is incredibly strong because you have so much more survivability and you're basing things on having these extra percentages of damage. That's what this goes on, and it's quite often I hit harder than warriors. Just straight up, I hit a lot harder than warriors when I have these things up. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Like I say, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that, and it's been fun. See you later. Bye.